this video today, we will be looking at matrix word problems from Chapter 4. So your heading today is obviously Chapter 4 word problems. I always encourage you to put down the date today, just to keep your notes organized and sharp. So here's your heading. Please copy that down, Chapter 4 word problems, and also write down today's date. Now, we will be solving 3 word problems during this video. It's going to be a pretty short video, to be honest with you. 2 of them are really pretty simple. The other one is not that hard. You just have to think a little bit. The one that I think is difficult is going to be the second problem that we do, okay? The second problem, I think, is the hardest one. These problems are going to apply adding, subtracting, and multiplying matrices, and also finding the area of a triangle by using a matrix. So let's get started. You're welcome to open your books up, but I encourage you not to. I just really don't think you need to do that, okay? I would like you to focus on the video and not be looking in your books, but if you want to use your books, you may. I definitely would not try to copy the problem down. Instead, I would write down this in your notes. Page 176, example number 4. Page 176, example number 4. Now, what they've done in this problem is a very simple thing. They've given you a matrix already set up for you that looks like this. And again, when I'm done with this problem, you might not take any notes at all. You might just listen the entire time. To be honest with you, it's really simple. And to copy all this down when it's right there in your book is a little bit of a waste of time, in my opinion. But listen carefully what they're doing here. They give you these 2 matrices, okay? And they tell you this matrix here is a tuition matrix. So if you want to look at a public 4-year college in 1994, there's the cost. Okay? Pretty cheap. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Pretty cheap compared to nowadays. If you want to look at a private 4-year university in 1992, it cost about $12,000. Okay? So they give you a matrix that has all of the tuition rates. Then they give you a matrix that has the room and board. Okay? So if you chose to go to a private 4-year university in 1993, there's your tuition, and then the room and board would be $5,843 more. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? So to find your total cost, here's your tuition, here's your room and board. $18,898. Okay? So I hope you're seeing what they're doing. They gave you these 2 matrices. Now, it's real important that you give your matrix a title when you're doing with word problems. I like my titles to go right up top myself, but that's irrelevant. That's up to you, okay? So we have a tuition matrix and a room and board matrix. Now, in the book they said, come up with a total cost matrix. A total cost matrix. Well, guys, doesn't that just make sense? You're just going to add the 2 matrices together. Think about it. I mean, if I want a total cost of tuition and room and board, I'm simply going to add these 2 matrices together. So on a test or a quiz, you'd have to set up your matrix like this. You'd have to write off to the side. You'd have to put you give your matrix a heading. You would call it whatever you want. I would call it total cost. Then you'd have to write down. I'm gonna write really sloppy and fast. Just watch, okay? I would write down public 4-year university, and then private 4-year university. You've got to be a lot neater than this, okay? Public 4-year college, private, and then so on. So you list all of your subjects, all of your subheadings, if you will, okay? And then you would simply add this plus this, and it would go right here. Then add this plus this, and it would go right here. This plus this, and it would go right here. Same thing. Now, we're used to adding matrices like this when they're side by side, but it's still the same concept, okay? So if you do all of that, here's what you would end up with. This right here. There you go. I put total cost, they put total charges, and they took this number here, plus this number here, and got this number here. They took this number here, plus this number here, and got this number here. They took this number here, plus this number here, and got this number here. Okay, guys, so that's a pretty easy problem. They give you a matrix, two matrices, and they want you to simply add them together to find the total cost or total charge matrix for tuition and room and board. Okay, so there's your answer right there. Now again, you probably just sat and listened the entire time and didn't take any notes, which is fine, okay? But that is how you would do it. Now the next problem, you're going to want to take some notes, okay? So here we go. Okay, I would write down your notes, page 182, example number 3, and then I would copy this down right here probably. Okay, and then maybe the cost of the bats and the baseballs and the gloves. Okay, alright. So two softball teams, one is a women's team and one is a men's team. And they give how much, they show you how much equipment each team needs, okay? So two softball teams submit their list to their sponsors. The women's team wants 12 bats, 45 softballs. I think I said baseballs earlier, softballs. 15 gloves. Men's team wants 15 bats, 38 softballs, 17 gloves, etc. Okay. So they give the cost of each one. One bat is $21. One ball is $4. One glove is $30. Use matrices to find the total cost. So, look guys, it's obvious. We're going to have to use multiplication. You know this, guys. Every bat gets multiplied by $21. Every softball gets multiplied by $4. And every glove gets multiplied by 30. That's obvious, okay? So if we're going to come up with a matrix that shows us the total cost, then we're going to figure out somehow how to use matrix multiplication. So here's what I would do. I would write a matrix, and I would put softball teams for my heading. That's my heading. Softball teams, and then you can abbreviate women's team, men's team, and I guess I'll put the words down here, which is okay to do. Bats, softballs, and gloves, and here we go. 12, 15, 45, 38, 15, 17. Now, we're going to have to come up with another matrix that's going to be our cost matrix, and multiply it by this. Now, come on, guys. Think. You know when you multiply two matrices together, you take a row times a column, right? Come on, think about this. You know when you multiply two matrices, you take row times columns. So you're going to want your cost matrix to be going up and down. That should make sense to you. So I can call this matrix my cost matrix. And I've got my bats first, so I'm going to put my cost of a bat right here. My cost of a bat's $21. Next will be my softballs, so I'm going to put the cost of the softballs right here, which is $4. And then I'm going to put the cost of my gloves right here, and that's about, what, $30. Guys, this works. If you take row times column, you take the bats times 21, the softballs times 4, and the gloves times 30. That's perfect. And then you take this row times this column, and it's the exact same thing. Let's run our test and see if we can't multiply these together, okay? So we have a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 1. Do the inside numbers match? Yes, they do. So the answer you're going to get out is a 2 by 1. 2 rows, 1 column like this. 2 rows, 1 column going up and down like that. And so there it is. We can do this actually pretty quickly, guys. I mean, take row times column right here. So you have 12 times 21 gives you 252. 45 times 4 gives you 180. 15 times 30 gives you 450. So we're going to add all those numbers together. 252 plus 180 plus 450. And we're going to get 882. So I took row times column and got out this right here. Okay, so not too bad. Now, let's continue on. Now I can take this row here times this column. So I have 15 times 21, which is 315. 38 times 4, which is going to give me 152. And then 17 times 30, which should give me 510. So let's add those up. 152 plus 315 plus 510 gives me 977. So that'll go right here. Now, you should be able to label this. That's the total cost of teams. This is the women's team right here, cost. This is the men's team, cost right here. And we're done. Now the only thing I want to show you one other thing here. You could have, if you wanted to set your first matrix up like this, this would have been fine. Women's team, men's team, bats, softballs, and gloves. Okay, you could have done this 12, 45, 15, okay, and 15, 38, 17. You're probably thinking, Mr. Earhart, you can't do it this way because you have to take row times a column. And how are we going to do this? We got bats. This isn't going to work. Well, hold on. I see what you're saying, but I'm just trying to get you. I'm just trying to get you to think outside the box, okay? If you did it like this, then guys, just put your cost matrix first. That would work. Your cost matrix was 21, 4, 30, bats, softballs, gloves, and now you take row times column. That'll work. Bats times 12, $21 times each bat, $4 times each softball, $30 times each glove, $21 times each bat, $4 times each softball, and $30 times each glove. And there it is. That would work also. Now, this is a 1 by 3. This is a 3 by 2. Your inside numbers match, so you're left over with a 1 by 2. So your answer would be like this. You'd have 1 row and 2 columns. So it would look like this. A number here and a number here. And you would get out 882 here and 977 here. Okay, guys, think this through. You're going to get plenty of chances to practice this when we work on homework, okay? But you got to learn to think. You want row times column, so make sure the proper number matches up with the proper number, okay? Alright, so using matrix multiplication to solve problems like this. Lastly, we're going to move on now and try to use matrices to help us find the area of a triangular shaped region here. Alright. In your notes, I would write down page 190, example 4. A large region of forest has been infected with gypsy moths. The region is roughly triangular as shown in the map at the left. region, the distance to the other vertices, excuse me, is 20 miles south and 28 miles east. For vertex C, and 25 miles south and 10 miles east for vertex B. Approximate the number of square miles in this region. Okay, now, if you're thinking, Mr. Arrow, it's not that hard, I'll just take this triangle and turn it like this, and there's my base and my height. Well, remember, to find the area of a triangle, it's 1/2 times the base times the height. But this is not the height unless we have a right angle right here, and we don't know if we have a right angle or not. So you cannot use that formula that you're used to. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Now listen to me, we're going to pick this thing up and put it on a coordinate plane so that we have ordered pairs. Now bear with me, be patient, and watch. Okay? Let's pretend that I'm going to slide this out of the way to get a little more room. Now watch carefully what I do, please. Let's pretend that I called this point here 0, 0. And by the way, you can call this point 0, 0 or this point as long as you do your math correctly. It doesn't matter. I'm going to call this point 0, 0. So I'm going to have a vertical line here. This is my y-axis going up and down. And this is my x-axis going this way. Okay? There we go. So point B is 0, 0. Alright, now notice for point A, I've gone over 10. Got it? Over 10. From here to here, it says is 10. Is it miles? Let's see. Let me glance in the book real quick. I think it's miles. Yes, miles. So I know this ordered pair right here. Ordered pair A is going to be -10 for my x because I went over 10. And I've got to go up. Now look, from here up is 25. 25 starts right here, goes up to here. So I went over 10 up 25. So this ordered pair right here would be -10, comma 25. Now we've got to find this ordered pair right here. Okay. Now the first thing we have to realize is how far over have we gone. Okay. From here over, how far over have we gone the x-axis? Well, let's see if we can figure that out. Okay. The total distance from here to here is 28. Got it? Now from here to here is 10. So from here to here is 10. Then from here to here has to be 18 because 10 plus 18 is 28. 28 is the distance from here all the way over to here. Okay? And so this ordered pair right here is over 18. That's a positive 18. Okay? Now, how high up is it? How high up is that point? I went over 10. How high up? Well, let's see, guys. Look, watch this. From here all the way down is 25. Got it? But from here to here is 20. That means this little distance from here to here, which is, I know my line's not drawn very well, and I apologize. I understand that. But see if I can straighten it out just a little. So this point I went over 18. Now I'm going to go up 5 because look, guys, from here to here is 25. From here to here is 20. So this little distance here has got to be 5. Which is the same as this over here. So it's going to be positive 18, positive 5, and the other ordered pair is 0, 0. So, do I have 3 ordered pairs? Yes, I do. -10, 25, 18, comma 5, 0, comma 0. there's your three ordered pairs. Well, guys, we learned how to find the area of a triangle as long as you knew the vertices in each one of these ordered pairs goes with a vertex. Here, here, and here. We learned that once you know the vertices, the ordered pairs of the vertices of a triangle, you can definitely find the area of the triangle. I mean, pretty quickly. It's not too difficult. Okay, remember, you put your ordered pairs in any order. It doesn't matter which one comes first. Just make sure you keep the correct numbers with the correct numbers. The ordered pairs have to go together. Then you put ones here. Then you put a 1/2 right here. And now here we go. You find the determinant of this 3 by 3 and then multiply it by 1/2 and you have the area. It's really pretty cool. So copy the first two rows over again. -10, +18, and 0, and then 25, 5, and 0. And let's see what happens. Here we go. 0 times 5 times 1, that's 0. 0 times 1 times 10, that's 0. 1 times 18 times 25. Right here, 1 times 18 times 25. You get 450, so I'm going to put a -450. Remember, when you multiply up, you change the signs. Now we're going to multiply down. We'll get a -50. And then a 0 and a 0. So combine these two together, and we have 1/2 from right here times -500. Alright? So multiply those together, you get -250. Now remember, sometimes your area will come out with a negative sign. I've told you guys that in your notes. So when that happens, just get rid of the negative sign, okay? So there you go, you found the area. That's really cool, guys. 215 square miles. All because you were able to pick up a triangle and lay it on a coordinate plane and then find the area. Okay, pretty neat. Alright guys, I hope this video's been a help to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email.